Because yes, somehow Diddy had enough baby oil to rub out at getting convicted of this one. And I heard that you like to go for people who talk about you. So look, yeah, like, don't do that to me, bro. Don't blow up my car, bro. I don't have nothing to do with it. This scared. All right, let's talk about P. Diddy and his baby oilless trials and case. So if you haven't paid attention, you don't know about the P. Diddy trial. I don't know where you've been in the world, but I feel like that's been like the hottest thing to talk about for the past like 6 months, to be honest. To give you a brief overview, which I still feel like you don't need, P. Diddy basically went to jail because they said that he was, sex trafficking and being on his ex-wife Cassie Ventura like Mike Tyson. I ain't gonna lie, Cole was beating up on her like a dog. Like, he was whooping her like a man. And I just want to say this to anybody who might be watching. If you feel like you have to lay hands on a woman to keep her or for your relationship to go right, you don't need her. Please, before you throw your life away and just completely crash out and lose everything that you work for, just let it go. Everybody does not need to be in your life. Because yes, somehow Diddy had enough baby oil to rub out at getting convicted of this one. But let me tell you something, brother. You're not Diddy. And if you don't have the best lawyers in the world and enough notoriety for people to just undeniably be biased to you, you're probably not getting off, my boy. If you do what Diddy did, bro, you're going down. Trust me. But that's why it makes it so much more crazy, because we've all seen the things that he's done. And it's just insane that somebody was able to just get off on that pretty much scot-free, to be what it looks like. Because Diddy got off on like 3 of the 5 charges, but the charges that he was able to get off on was like the most serious ones. Now, the first one he got off on was the RICO, which I'm gonna just be honest, I've never seen a person get charged with a RICO by themselves. I ain't gonna lie, you gotta be a pretty powerful person to get charged with a RICO by yourself. But that's probably why he ended up beating that case, to be honest. And the other serious charge that he got dropped was sex trafficking. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest. When I heard the racketeering charge, obviously I really didn't think they had enough to charge him with a racketeering charge for one person. Because usually you see RICOs get thrown at people for being in gangs and advancing gang activities. That's literally why the RICO charge was made. It was made to take down the mafia. So to throw a racketeering charge at him, I think was a little much. And honestly, I feel like that really ended up hurting their case. Because how are you gonna say that he was running like some gang? He was just, from the looks of it, extremely violent and super over freakily dude. Now, the prostitution charge, I think, is pretty much explainable to itself. He got the prostitute sleep with his wife, and he liked to watch, and we don't really have to get into that. I ain't gonna lie, I've heard a lot of weird fetishes, but that's one that I just can never understand, because I don't understand why you would like to see somebody just, you feel me? Yo, girl, me now, I don't even like the thought of somebody doing that to my girl before I even met her. So the fact that you're voluntarily seeing it happen in front of your eyes is crazy to me. The AAT is on, I guess. I've heard a lot of crazy ones, but I think that's top of the list. Shout out Adam22. Also, Kid Cudi was subpoenaed to talk on this trial, which, if you haven't heard that story, is pretty crazy too. That man Diddy found out Kid Cudi was messing with Cassie and literally blew up his car. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I don't play by mine either, but the fact that you went out of your way to blow up somebody's car for messing with her is crazy. Bro, be mad at her, don't be mad at him, especially not my goat. If y'all don't know, Kid Cudi is my favorite rapper, so if anybody messes with Kid Cudi, I'm gonna be mad off the fleas. Please leave Kid Cudi alone. And if you mess with Kid Cudi again, I'm coming for you, Diddy. Now I'm gonna backtrack. I'm not coming for you, because I watched your documentary and I heard that you like to go for people who talk about you. So look, yeah, don't do that to me, bro. Don't blow up my car, bro. I don't have nothing to do with it. This is scared. You feel me? Just news, objective news reporting. I guess they didn't really have a case with the other domestic violence stuff, because I think that was a civil case that Cassie already handled with Diddy, so they weren't really able to bring that back up. But they had the other case with the stuff that he put it through with all the stuff. And to be honest, I know some people might not agree with my opinion on this, but a lot of that stuff looks really, really fishy to me. Because if you haven't seen, there's a lot of text messages where it looks like that she was kind of a willing participant in it. And I understand the thing about somebody having power, somebody having control over your music career, and they extorting you for a certain thing. But at the end of the day, with certain stuff, you low-key do have a choice. Even with this YouTube stuff, if a YouTube exec was to tell me that I would blow you up on YouTube, but all you gotta do is do this with this person or have this person do this to your girl, I'm not doing it, bro. I don't care how much money, how much fame or anything that you promised me, I'm not doing it. So at the end of the day, yes, while it is extortion and definitely shouldn't happen, it's still a choice. Now, if he put a gun to her head, and I understand she might have felt scared because of the violence thing that happened before, but if they don't put a gun to your head, I ain't gonna lie, that's low key on you, because there's a lot of time that you could have called the police, and there's a lot of time that you could have let somebody know to probably stop a lot of this stuff from happening. Or at least got it to where that he couldn't attack you no more. I don't want to sound insensitive to the victims of it though, but there are a lot of things that can be done to prevent certain things from escalating to certain points. Now, a lot of people are saying that he should get the full time for this prostitution stuff and how he was booking hotels and aliases and all of that stuff. But I ain't gonna lie, I really feel like most of the time, Diddy's probably just doing this on a bigger scale because of who he is. And we all know at this point, he's a billionaire, so, and a person with a lot of fame. So if certain stuff is always booked in his name, I do think it could create a conflict for different reasons other than that. Now, obviously, the reason behind him doing a lot of this stuff was wrong, but I do think there's other angles to look at besides just him doing that for that reason. And honestly, with the prostitute thing too, you can't really say that he really coerced these people into doing this, because he literally paid them and they were literally also willing participants of this. Most of them probably look forward to getting paid by him. They literally said that he would give them like $7,000 for one time. I don't know how those type of workers get down where you from, but I know some people who have partaken in these things, and I can tell you they are not getting $7,000. So I just think when it came to that, I think the money just talked to him. I know a lot of people say they're surprised that Diddy got off, but honestly, I really can't say that I am. I feel like we've seen time and time again that the justice system is ultimately rigged. It seems like the more fame and money and popularity that you got, bruh, you're more likely to get off. And that doesn't mean that it's fair, but that's just the way that it is. Obviously, all of this stuff he did is wrong. Aside from like his just like ultimately freaky stuff that he did on his own. As much as we like to talk about him, like, I mean, the stuff isn't like overtly wrong. It's just weird, like really weird. That doesn't change the fact that he should have got charged with something. I do hope that one day we're able to make progress as a society, that stuff like this doesn't happen anymore and that it isn't just like swept under the rug and nobody cares about it. But honestly, I feel like we so far gone, I don't really see it ever getting there, to be honest. To double back again, man, I really hope that if you're in a situation where you feel like you have to beat up on somebody or harm them in any way, you really get out of that situation, because nobody should be in that. Nobody should be involved in that. The person that you be with should be your peace, not your pain. So if they're causing you more pain than peace, please get them out of here right now. Anyway, if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Tune into some of my other videos. They're on a little lighter topics than this one, so you might be able to have more of a laugh. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. See you next time.